Welcome to NF Hell. Here's your host, Dames Marvs.
Thank you, Billie Jean. Welcome back to NFL, where none of us are actually in NFL. Actually, we did lose a fella. Ben is truly in hell of all kinds, not just NF. With his sports world, he just determined this was not a good fit for him at this time. I mean, when the first comment you make is, I hate football, probably time to see if maybe this is the route that you want to go every week at Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day. We're on Wednesdays now because we got a new face here. It's not the greatest face I've ever seen, but it's certainly not as bad as Frankie J. So, Frankie J, welcome back, first of all. And we got T.O., Todd, the retard. Oh, I did go there, guys. I did go there. I'm just meeting him for the first time, but I know I've watched him on their other show, and I'm a fan, much more so than I am of Frankie J. And that's a fact. All right, guys, let's just get to it. We're in week 9 right now, but we can't talk about week 9 until we talk about week 8. And why is that not problematic for the three of us? Because you guys have another show. Frankie, tell me about that show.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Todd and I do a show. It's called True NFL. It's every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Tube, Instagram, and Facebook. It's at Raw Live, 2 Ws. And it's a fun show where we just kind of talk about trending NFL headlines, major injuries, major news, scores, and we do our predictions real quickly on the upcoming week.
Awesome. That was a really boring way to describe it. It's much better than he described. We'll just say that. All right. But no, tune in, because they're not doing it for their health, okay? They're doing it for y'all, just like we are. All right. Guys, you've been talking about football this whole season. So this is going to be like no big deal talking about week 8, because I already know that you're informed. But let's talk about some things that are happening around the league. The first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to go right to T.O. on this one, Cam Scadaboo. Dang, dude. Through 7+ weeks of football, is there a player that has gotten more love from their new community and their new team than Cam Scadaboo? And how do you feel about this injury?
I don't think anybody has had the influence that Cam Scadaboo has had, especially for that organization. The way he has came in, I should say, since this is probably a career-altering injury that we witnessed with his ankle just dangling there. But that guy plays with his heart and soul, and you can only ask that of all the players on your team. And if everyone gave half of what Cam Scadaboo gave, they'd be in good shape.
Right. Now, Frankie, we were of the opinion that the Giants had won the draft between Scadaboo and Jackson Dart. They certainly were making Giants football interesting to watch again. But what do you think the loss? I mean, how are you feeling as a Giants fan right now? I know you're a Giants fan, but just walk me through how that would feel for you.
If I'm a Giants fan, and I'll pretend to be one for a short moment here, if I'm a Giants fan and Jackson Dart got in there and Scadaboo were tearing it up and bringing what I would consider excitement back to MetLife Stadium, to the Giants organization for however long, Scadaboo to go down the way he did and as harshly as that injury was, my heart drops and I'm wondering, now what? What's next? Am I going to still be excited, or do I stop being a fan? I'm going to throw a guess out there, and if anybody disagrees, definitely drop a comment. I think the fans are going to stick with the team right now in honor of Scadaboo. I think he'll be up in the box waving and getting people pumped up. So I think they'll be okay. I don't think it kills the organization. but it's definitely a wind out from under the sails, for sure. If
Well,
I'm a Giants fan.
let's face it. I mean, he is not coming back this season. He may be out a lot of next season. Who knows? Nobody really knows at this point. I will give respect to the Philly fans who did give him what I believe is a genuine applause upon leaving the field on the cart, and he got to wait. I mean, that's every player's nightmare, and for Philadelphia fans, we know notoriously they're not great to opposing teams' players, but I could see the respect, and I felt that was at least a great maneuver on their part. Now, we're talking about two people that have recently died here, which is Cam Scadaboo and Ben Shrewsbury. Where do these things come together somewhere in the ether? Well, the trade deadline is coming up. Minnesota Vikings are terrible at the quarterback position. They're pretty much loaded and stacked everywhere else, but their quarterback play has been dreadful. And what do the Giants have on their roster now that Jackson Dart has clearly cemented his legacy as the starter for this year? That leaves an extra quarterback in Russell Wilson, who has now been linked to the Minnesota Vikings. All right, here's the thing. I talked with Ben today. He's not dead. He's not dead.
Ben.
Neither is Cam Scadaboo, just so if you heard that and thought, wow, that's more drastic than I remember hearing, it's because I work highly with hyperbole and misinformation, at least on this show. But this is true. Russell Wilson might be a great fit, you guys. What have we noticed with the quarterback play of the Vikings right now? They're overthrowing, underthrowing, and most of these bad passes are down the field. And what do we know about Russell Wilson? He's one of the most talented players at throwing the ball downfield. When you have weapons like those guys, I think it's a good fit. I'm not saying that they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not even going to say they're going to win a bunch of games, but it will save the fan base from not having to watch the season. They'll be able to watch the games and feel good about it. What's your take on this, T.O.? Good move, bad move?
I always think Russell Wilson is a bad move
Okay.
for an organization. I don't know what they're doing here because they keep carting out Carson Wentz, who is clearly injured, while sitting J.J. McCarthy, who is presumably ready to go and has been ready to go for the last 2 weeks, apparently. I don't understand what's happening here. You watch any Vikings game and all you see is Justin Jefferson running around with his head cut off and no one being able to get him the ball. And it's a sad thing. And Russell Wilson, no, it puts a Band-Aid on something, and I don't think they really want to go that route unless they think that the guy they drafted is totally garbage.
Well, we did see him play those first 2 weeks, and indeed, they did win one, but it was garbage. What I saw was garbage, and I'm certainly not going to judge a guy's entire career off 2 games coming off an injured season. Certainly not. But I think sometimes a Band-Aid is okay. When you risk being halfway through the season and your fan base just completely saying, this is not worth watching, which is where Ben is at, which is why you're here today, because he has nothing to watch. He texted me today about this Russell Wilson thing, and he's like, I'm going to blame you for bringing it up last week if this happens. And I said, and then you'll thank me when you've been able to watch your team for the rest of the season. I do agree with you. It's not a long-term solution, and it's not going to cost them much. It might cost them a 5th or a 6th round pick, and then whatever, 18 pennies that he's making. Frankie, I know that you want to comment on this. Are you with Tio, or are you with me, or are you with Ben? It's just unwatchable.
I'm a Russell Wilson fan. As T.O. knows, I am a Russell Wilson fan. I was a fan when he went to Pittsburgh. I believe he's at the end of his career physically, but he does still have that throw. He has that that gifted bucket throw, they like to call it, where he can drop them in there. If I'm a Vikings fan right now and I got J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz is done for the year, he shouldn't have even been out there. There's a lot of scandals going around about that. I won't get into that, about he was injured. He shouldn't have even been on the active roster. J.J. should have played. But if you bring a Russell Wilson in, that team is stacked enough that I think Russell would have enough time to throw some touchdowns and keep some excitement there. Because if you lose your fan base halfway through the year, that's not going to be really promising going into the offseason. And considering you got this young, second-year quarterback now in J.J. McCarthy, who's played 3 games, maybe 4. So I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy. I don't have a problem with Russell Wilson going to the Vikings. I think it's a good fit. Kevin O'Connell seems to get along with the old guys. He got along great with Darnold. He even made Dobbs look like a good quarterback for a few weeks there.
That was another point I was going to make, is he's the quarterback whisperer, apparently, that we keep hearing. And maybe Russell needs that late in his career. I told Ben this. I said, Russell's not the guy that's going to go win the game by himself anymore. He's just not that guy anymore. He's still got the arm. If you can keep him upright with those weapons, I mean, and they got him all over the offensive side of the ball. They do. I mean, the running back's solid. I mean, Aaron Jones, right? I mean, they're solid on that offense. And I just think what I've been seeing with Carson Wentz is just so many bad over and under throws that they're getting so frustrated at wide receiver. Go ahead, Frankie.
I was going to add to that. I think the game plan was all wrong for Carson Wentz. I think they assumed or had this notion that he's going to be a little bit more mobile than he was, and they found out the hard way he wasn't. If they set up that game plan correctly, they get the ball rolling, and Todd taught me this, get the run game going a little bit. If you open up that play action for a Russell Wilson with Thielen, with Jefferson, with Hutchinson, I think his name is the tight end, he could shred you. He could shred you all day long. They got the team. It's just unfortunate the position they're in at this point.
And I will correct you on TJ Hawkinson, because Iowa, you got to respect the Iowa tight ends, bro. I'm not going to allow that.
No respect.
Yeah, no, good mentioning, because I didn't even think about him. He's a huge weapon. I mean, Russell Wilson typically has not been the quarterback to find tight ends. I mean, they got Jimmy Graham in Seattle for a couple seasons, and that was cute, but it never was Drew Brees. I mean, it never was Drew Brees to Jimmy Graham. And maybe that's just because they were older, but Russell's just never been that guy. But with TJ Hawkinson, you got a legit weapon no matter what. All right, let's move on from that. We'll see what happens.
Well, Russell, he has like a 78 passer rating in like his past 10 games. He's not a team player. Most players don't like playing with him. You're going to bring him into a locker room and a fan base that's already down in the dumps. I don't know. I guess I'd put him out there instead of wheeling out your guy in a wheelchair like they have been with Carson Wentz, but I wouldn't say he's going to save your season.
It's good. It's good to mention the unpopularity, because we didn't mention it until you brought it up. I think that he was liked in Pittsburgh, and let's say he did. That was like the resurgence. But also, look, they had guys there that could play, and I think that Minnesota's actually got a better roster than this. I don't know what's going on with the Steelers. They paid more to their defense than any other team, and their defense just seems to be atrocious. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is new and winning there right now. So, and I know we're talking about two like over the hill guys that won't be there in a couple of years. We know that. But I think there might be a swan song for Russell Wilson, and I don't think it's as a bench player for the New York Giants. Let's just say that. But trade deadline's Tuesday,
the 4th.
So we'll see, guys. I'm curious to talk with you all about the movement that happens between now and then, or if any, on next week's show. Go ahead, Frankie.
One last comment about Russell Wilson. I find it really hard to believe that he's not a team player. And if he wasn't a good team player, he lost it along the way when he left Seattle to go to Denver. I think he lost it there because if I recall correctly, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, either one of you, there was a point in time where he was doing press conferences and he was saying what's their line? Let's go, I'm in Bronco Town now or something. He said something,
That's
let's
right.
go, Bronco. Yeah.
That's right.
And it offended a lot of fans. And I think he said it too soon and too often when they were shitting the sheets. So for me, I think that's where his popularity, maybe even in the locker room, started to decrease. And then when he got to Pittsburgh, it just spiraled out of
Well,
control there.
the whole thing started in Seattle, okay? And it started after he threw the interception on the 1 yard line. The players on the defensive side of the ball were like, why are we favoring this fucking guy? Like, why does he get preferential treatment when the defense is elite and you're gonna let him get away with this? A lot of those guys in the locker room felt that Pete Carroll made the call to pass because they wanted Russell to get the MVP and not Marshawn Lynch.
Yep.
Which, if any part of that is true, Pete Carroll, I'm glad that you're gone. I don't believe that's true. But it certainly was in the head of Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman, being the loud ass fucking disruptor that he is, got everybody else on that team. I mean, he made Earl Thomas flip off Pete Carroll later on down the road. Cam Chancellor that guy was just a stud. But, I mean, it all went downhill from there. He lost his reputation, and then everybody's like, well, he's the best part of this team. If you just let him cook instead of holding him back with this run game, your team will be... Well, we saw a couple of years of that. There were times where it was magnificent, and there were times where it was just like, I hate watching this team.
Mm-hmm.
One thing has always remained true about Russell Wilson. Worst press conference after the first. Once you see it once, you see it a second time, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's just saying shit that's so annoying. And like, he got accused of not being black enough. The dude's clearly black, right? And for players to be like, he's not black enough. Well, a lot of people, if you remember, criticized black quarterbacks because they were thugs and gangsters and nobody could rally behind them. Like, do you remember those criticisms?
Oh, yeah.
You get a black quarterback that's like the white guy, and you're like, he's not black enough. Like, make up your mind. Like, you can't have it both ways. Either he's a leader, or he's a thug, or whatever. But anyway, yes, I'm glad that you brought it up, Tio, because you can't have a discussion about Russell Wilson and where he's going without discussing whether he's going to be liked there. And I think, based on watching Justin Jefferson slam his helmet down and say, JJ can't be this bad, I think they would welcome somebody that can get them the ball, whether they're very difficult to listen to in a press conference or not. We'll see. All right, let's close the book on Russell Wilson until we know where he's going.
Rest in peace,
anyway.
Russell.
All right, guys, I'm wearing this. Miami can score, you guys. Last week we saw them put up 6 points, and we were like, we picked you to win. What are you doing putting up 6 points, right? And then all of a sudden, I don't pick them this week because I'm like, well, I can't score anymore. What are they gonna do? And they fucking score. They fucking score a lot, and they beat the Pisano out of the Atlanta Falcons, who, I don't know if you remember this or not, but T.O. certainly called it. They trounced the Buffalo Bills. Am I to believe that Miami can beat the Bills? I don't believe that for a second. But I'm also looking at, like, I don't know what to think of these guys. And I don't... Are the Jets won? Are we in Bizarro world? Like, what? Tio, how did the Jets win?
Brees Hall. Brees Hall willed them to a victory. That's how the Jets won last week.
Right, a fourth.
And they,
Points.
And they played a crappy Cincinnati defense.
23 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Um, well, the reason we're talking about the Jets before we're in the actual game talk is Frankie J brought up a situation where I, I'm killing myself for not knowing his first name, but Mangold. Eric, was it Eric?
Eric. Yep.
Eric Mangold.
He passed away at the age of 41. Was he a center?
Yep.
He was a center for the Jets for 6 seasons under Rex Ryan. And guys, Frankie, go ahead.
I'm not a Jets fan by any stretch of the imagination. I am a fan of team players, players that come in and put in the work, as hard as it may be, and to lose every year and not ever win anything. He was a Jet through and through, green, stand-up guy, community guy, and unfortunately got hit with the kidney disease, which happens to run rampant in my mother's half of the family, so I understand the way it happened. So one thing I can tell you is this: he's going to be missed by the whole entire league, and probably by every team or anybody that's ever played with him, and the community most of all, and the fans. But I can tell you that he died in peace, because there is no pain when you die from kidney disease. So that I'm grateful for that he didn't have to suffer. So my take on it is the Jets. That was probably the worst loss they've had aside from football games in the last decade, for
Yeah.
sure.
Let's Tio, I want to turn this over to you for a comment on that, but then I want you to comment on Woody Johnson and if there's possibly another GM in football that's worse. Jerry Jones. Go ahead.
That guy seems very out of touch with what the heck's going on. No, there is nobody worse than him. They've had the longest drought. They never seem to improve. They have pretty decent players. You look around. I mean, I'd even argue they might even have more talent on the offensive side than Buffalo, minus a good quarterback. So that guy, I don't know. Yeah, he's pretty bad. They definitely should get rid of him.
And any thoughts on Eric Mangold's situation?
It's just he was a man's man.
True story. I think Rex Ryan said he knew he was getting fired.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
And Eric Mangold came up to him the last game. He's like, I'm going to play this game for you.
Yep, and he was injured for weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, it was tough to see Rex Ryan that emotional. He certainly wasn't that emotional talking about old Mark Sanchez and his situation.
No.
But man, things keep coming back to Rex Ryan. I'd sure like to see him coach again. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. We had. This is funny. Let's talk about Minnesota and their quarterback situation. Minus Russell Wilson, because, again, we don't know. But you guys realize when you look at the power rankings right now, in the top 10 power rankings, you see the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts, both in the top 5 probably. And then you see the facts of Minnesota had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on their roster last year.
Yeah, true.
And I'm just wondering if either of you have any comments on that.
That's why I don't think it matters who you put quarterback in Minnesota. They're not ready from the top down.
I mean, think about Darnold. He did shit the bed in the playoffs last year, but I think they won their first 8 and they won 14 games, I think.
Yeah, they won 14-2.
That's pretty,
A
14-3.
lot of close games there, though. Just like Kansas City had a lot of close games, and those can go either way when you're playing in the NFL, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for it being more than that because Sam Darnold is leading my team right now. So I hope that the line isn't just as far as he can not fuck it up. I hope
It
it's
is.
better than just that. But all right. This is the question for both of you, and I don't want you to go, well, I don't want either one of them. I want you to genuinely answer with one or the other, and then tell me why. Frankie, we'll start with you. Right now, Josh Allen, not your quarterback. Would you rather have Drake May or Bo Nix, and why?
That's a really hard question to answer. I will take a Bo Nix over Drake May. And the reason I say that is he seems more solid, more built, a little tougher, and might not get injured as often as Drake May might. Drake May seems a little weaker as far as strength is concerned.
You're
That's why.
basing this off of hatred.
Plus, I don't
Both
like
these guys,
Patriots.
and the reason I'm bringing up these two guys is they're the same draft class. Obviously, they're both on 5-game winning streaks, and both of their teams are being pulled out of the doldrums to somewhat be successful so far in the first half of the season. Tio, what's your thoughts?
I feel more comfortable with Drake May for all the reasons that Frankie J just described for Bo Nix. I feel like Drake May is more durable. Bo Nix is the least sacked quarterback in the league, least pressured quarterback in the league. So we really don't know about his durability. Both quarterbacks can run very well. But I'm a Bo Nix fan, but I would take Drake May. I think he's mini Josh Allen. He's baby Josh Allen right now.
I mean, yeah, heaven forbid something happened to Josh Allen.
Because here's
terrible.
another thing. Last week alone, Drake May hit 10 different receivers. You don't see that from Bo Nix. Bo Nix usually has his 1-2 guys. That's it. Drake May spreads the ball around. He can see the field. I just feel like he's a little bit ahead of what Bo Nix is, and that's not taking anything away from Bo Nix because he's doing great as well.
Yeah, and then let's not forget you had Michael Penix Jr. and Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams all in that draft. What a interesting quarterback draft. I'm not going to say great yet, but the ones that we thought were going to be great aren't the ones that are turning out to be the cream of the crop. And I love it when that happens. And I love it when there's a quarterback heavy draft because that means there's a lot of new things going on in the NFL, baby. Anyway, let's wrap up the
Don't forget that the best quarterback ever was the 199th draft pick,
was that
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Hmm.
You mean it's not Mr. Insignificant, Brock Purdy?
Nope.
Oh, well, you just wait. You don't know anything yet. All right.
Almost doesn't matter who San Fran plays as QB.
No, I think that Mac Jones is the exact same quarterback as Brock Purdy.
Yep, plug and play.
All right, let's jump into week 8 and talk a little bit of that. We had the Vikings on Thursday Night Football going to the Los Angeles Chargers. I was called a dumb fuck for picking Minnesota, and I was a dumb fuck for picking Minnesota. What I saw in that game was just bad quarterback play. That's the reason they lost. That's it. 37-20. Guys, have any comments on this game?
No, they need a better quarterback. The guy is hurt. He was clearly in massive amounts of pain every play.
But based on our earlier discussion, it seems to me like you think that should be J.J. McCarthy.
I think J.J. McCarthy starts this week for sure. 100%.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. Now, what if you know that Carson Wentz is done for this season? Do you
If I knew
you not go get Russell Wilson for a backup?
You know, I think that trade that you were describing, I think that benefits the Giants more.
All right. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, a 5th-round draft, they draft well. So
Yes.
any draft pick they get for an old, broken down, 5'10" person that everybody hates, possibly destroyed his No, he did destroy his Hall of Fame legacy.
If you're asking me if Russell Wilson is an upgrade, I'll agree with you. He's an upgrade to that room. Do I think that it's going to make that big of a difference? No.
Bad teammate, maybe, but do you think? I think that he's been really good for the quarterbacks that he's sat behind. The younger guys, especially. I know Jackson Dart's like, I love this guy. I mean, he's taught me how to be a pro, you know?
And keep him.
I mean, yeah, because you saw one of your guys get injured, and yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to make a deal that makes them go, yeah, we would rather have that than Russell Wilson
I think it's a luxury to have two good quarterbacks on your team.
for sure. And I don't know a lot of teams that do.
Nope.
I thought the Falcons did, but Uncle Cousins, dude's an unk, man.
Yep.
Guys, I'm throwing out this term for you. Joe Flacco, he's an unk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're done. That means they're done. They can still do it a little bit, but nobody's like making a Super Bowl run with an unk. All
They
right.
got Super Bowl now. I mean, they have knowledge of the game, and they're going to be able to pick apart zone coverage, and they're going to be able to make those throws. But if you're going to, when the game's on the line, they don't have it anymore.
Yeah. A plug and play, if you
Plug
will.
and play. I mean, look at him. He's throwing to Chase 13 times. That's something you and I would do.
I would throw it to him every time.
Throw it to him every time.
Where's that guy at?
Yeah,
Where's that
exactly.
All right. Now we got to move to the Falcons. All of us picked the Falcons last week. Tio, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm going to assume you thought the Falcons would beat Miami.
I did. I'm very confused on what the heck the Falcons really are.
Yeah, I don't. Well, Penix was hurt. Let's be fair. So they went back to Uncle Cousin. That's even more bizarre.
That was just an odd game because prior to that, the Falcons' defense was on fire. Dolphins couldn't score nothing, so it's like everything we know about the NFL, you might as well flip it upside down because it's not going to happen the next week.
Right, and I was told repeatedly last week that it's predictable.
Wow, yeah. What's predictable is knowing that the referees are going to make some calls that aren't legit, and games are going to be.
Let me just tell you how predictable it was, T.O. I was 6-7 on the week.
Well, yeah, I didn't do well.
By far my worst performance of the year. Granted, I did pick Minnesota on basically a dare. And I was highly disrespected on my own show, being called the fucking, what was it? A fucking dumbass?
Wow.
Or dumb fuck. That's what it
Dumb
was.
fuck.
I own it. I made that happen. All right. Yeah. That game totally, like, Kirk Cousins. What do you, like, nobody's coming after him this week.
Mm-mm.
There's nobody that's like saw that and was like, dude, and think about it. You know that there's teams out there that are going to need a quarterback at the trade deadline. You get to play off the bench the week before the fucking deadline, and that's what you do? That's what you do? Kirk Cousins ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
No one's making that call.
No.
All right, let's move on because there were two other shitty teams that played, and that was Chicago and Baltimore. Baltimore is another baffling situation for me because are they that dependent on only Lamar Jackson? T.O., what are they? What is this team?
Well, this team is a team that is going, in my eyes, going to get a lot better as the year goes on. The defense started out terrible. They're putting it together. As soon as they get a healthy Lamar back, Henry's still healthy. I think they're going to make a lot of noise here coming up.
Now,
I'd be afraid of Baltimore, to be
Frankie,
honest.
you're shaking your head like you're a fucking bobblehead. Tell me why you disagree with Tio.
They're 2-5. They're two out. They're just there's too many factors that would have to happen for them to make any noise. Yeah, they might win some games in a row. I don't think Lamar is coming back from his hamstring thing. He's not going to be moving the way they want him to move. He's not going to be 100%. He's coming back this week because there's some scandal going on in Baltimore now that Harbaugh was playing games with the injury reports up until game time, and there was other people injured that were just all kinds of stuff going on. Lamar shouldn't even be in this week, but he's coming back in to save face. I don't expect much from him. Am I wrong? Most of the times, yeah. But I think I'm right about this one. I don't think the Baltimore Ravens are going to get into the playoffs this year. Henry seems to lose a grip every time near the end of the game and drops a ball or two. So what's going on with Derrick Henry? You can't rely on him. So I disagree with Tio. I like most times. I disagree with him most times on all the nonsense that he
All right,
has.
so you say they're 2-5. Two of those games they lost directly because of fumbles from Derrick Henry. Go ahead, Tio.
You say these things about Lamar, and you ask if the team rides on Lamar. Well, their record is 4-11 without him. They average about like 16 points when he doesn't play, and they average over 30 when he plays. The team 100% revolves around Lamar Jackson and when he's in the game. And 2-5, it doesn't matter to me. Your record's 0-0. Everyone's 0-0 every next game up.
That's right.
Easily
Now,
be 8-5 in a couple weeks, and you're looking at it like, wow, what the heck just happened here?
I'm going to tag on to what Tio said because Baltimore put up 30 on a Bears defense that I don't think is terrible. The Bears are another team, though, that is in what the fuck land. Like, who are these guys? We don't know yet. That's why I'm saying, like, you could be the Buffalo Bills, you could be the Seattle Seahawks, and going in to play Chicago at Soldier Field and not be confident in that game. Like that very easily could happen. Now, you're probably like more like we're probably going to win this game, but you wouldn't bet your life on it.
No, you don't ever know what team you're going to get.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Let me clarify. Does the team revolve around Lamar Jackson? Obviously, yes. Are they going to be able to depend on him moving forward was what I really meant to say. Is he 100% healthy? And if he gets hurt again, where do they go? Huntley again? So, or Cooper Rush? To me, yeah, they revolve around him. But are they going to be able to depend on him at this point with a hamstring?
Only time will tell. All right, so they trounced him. Baltimore absolutely trounced the Bears. It's 30-16, I think it was. And then you have Buffalo, Carolina. We were all on Buffalo. I still have a little bit of respect for Carolina, but they really, the Bills did what you're supposed to do, which, after you guys had a couple losses in the bye week, then you come back and you're like, we really kind of have to put a hammer on this team to feel good about things moving forward, because you got Kansas City coming up, and I can't wait to talk about that. That's going to be a long conversation, guys. But this Carolina game, I kind of saw you guys chatting about it. Go ahead, Tio. I'll let you start.
Oh, this game happened exactly like I thought it would. I think I said 40-10 was my prediction. It was 40-9. McDermott 8-0 after a bye week. Josh Allen doesn't lose after a bye week. We played the helpless Carolina Panthers, who they're pretenders. Let's all be honest. They have a great record. I think they are pretenders, especially now when Chuba Hubbard came back, when Rico Dotto's playing amazing. Now they're splitting carries again. They don't know what the heck's going on. Bryce Young, okay. So he doesn't do it for me either. So this game went exactly the way I thought it would and the way I expected it to.
Now, Frankie, I like Bryce Young. I can't really name any other players on Carolina's team. I have a hard time calling them pretenders when I look at the teams that they've played and the teams that they've beaten. I feel like they're very middle of the road ish to bad, middle of the road to bad, and I'm still not understanding if Bryce Young is the future or not. Which you'd want to know that by now. I mean, clearly Indianapolis decided Richardson not it. They go after Daniel Jones, and well, look where they're at. Go ahead, Frankie. Tell me about your Buffalo Carolina mashup.
Well, just like T.O., I expected them to come out swinging for the fences. Here's where him and I might disagree. I said a week prior, in this, actually before the bye week even, we were getting two defensemen back from suspension, Michael Hoyt and Ogunjobi. I have a hard time with that name. Michael Hoyt was a huge impact. His first game back, he was a monster. Our defense really showed up this week to the point where we were able to shut down the Panthers or not. I think any team we would have played, I think we would have held them to a lot less points prior to the bye week. We got our defense where we want it now. Yeah, we took a significant loss this weekend, losing Ed Oliver. But I think getting those two guys back on the defensive line, that helps with the run game. If you can stuff the run, you can't open the play action, and you don't have to rely on your secondary as much. So for me, I expected it to go the way it did. But we're going into Kansas City. Kansas City's coming to us this week. That game is going to be kind of goofy. I'll wait till we talk about that game. But as far as the Panthers game, I expected it to go that way. And since 2017, the Bills have lost 2 games in a row every season and did well after the 2 losses. So I expected them to win and predicted them to win.
History repeats itself. Yes, we were all on Buffalo. We were all also on Cincinnati. And Tio, I'm going to imagine that you were on Cincinnati as well, because this Jets team just really can't find anything. And then all of a sudden, we talked about this a little bit earlier. They pull out a 1-point win, which I didn't notice if there was any nonsense about going for 2 or anything like that in this game, because I didn't watch it that closely, but I hope that factored in somewhere, and some jackass went for 2 and then lost the game by 1. Go ahead, Frank.
That's what confused me about, and I didn't watch the game. I watched Red Zone when the Bills are done. They could have kicked the extra point and, if need be, go to overtime, but they would not have lost in regulation. But Aaron Glenn went for the 2 points, and if I remember correctly, didn't get that 2-point conversion. And it could have really screwed them at the end. Tio, what was your thought on that?
Got to go for the win.
See, we just
When you're winless.
You know what? There's a game where I wouldn't have, and this happened earlier where the Rams did it. The Rams were playing terrible that whole game. I want to say it was maybe against Green Bay earlier in the season.
That was the Eagles.
Or against the Eagles, and he did that, and he went for it. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you haven't moved the ball all day. I would take the points right here and just move that game to overtime and take your chances. But no, he decided to go and he got stopped. So I think it depends how the game's going, how I'm going to call that. But I can't fault him for going for the win.
All right, but let's take team record.
Yeah, you got 1 win. What are you doing? You're going to play for a tie?
If you're 0 and whatever, and you're faced with a decision of tying and going, and you fucking pick to go for the tie and play on rather than go for the win or loss,
Yeah.
you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even want to play for you.
I don't want to, dude. If you're like, look, we win, we fucking live or die by this play right here.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't get a 2-point fucking score from the 2-yard line, I'm done playing for you. I don't want to play overtime. I want to win or lose, because one more loss is not going to hurt us. It's going to help our draft. If we win, we're all fucking feeling good for at least 24 hours. And, well, they won. So,
Yeah, good for them.
Good on the Jets. But now it's coming to, there are no more defeated teams in the NFL, which means Now we have to move seriously and look at draft order. And are they going to screw them? What team's going to screw themselves out of the draft? And T.O., you've never heard this story from me before. So I'm going to tell it as fast as I possibly can. In 1992, the Seattle Seahawks were 2-14 with Defensive Player of the Year Cortez Kennedy on that 2-14 team. How dominant of a defensive player do you have to be to win Defensive Player of the Year on a 2-14 team? Pretty fucking dominant. Anyway, rest in peace, Cortez. I would be wearing your jersey normally, but we're just little circles now, so I don't really go all out. Here's the deal. One of the teams we beat that year was the New England Patriots. They also finished the season 2-14. Well, you know what happens when you beat the other team that's 2-14, they get the first pick of the draft, you get the second pick of the draft. They pick Drew Bledsoe from Washington State. And we get Rick Myrer. The rest is history, dude. So the reason I'm bringing up that story now is because the Jets may be playing themselves stupidly out of being able to pick whatever. But then I also look at the fact that Woody Johnson's going to be the guy making that pick, and it doesn't fucking matter. So, all right, let's move on. San Francisco, Houston. This game blew my dick off, you guys. Seattle absolutely manhandled. I mean, it doesn't look like it on paper, but they dominated the shit out of Houston, and specifically out of C.J. Stroud. The guy couldn't do anything that he wanted to do. He was constantly under duress. Now he looks like a hero, a Super Bowl champion type of player against San Francisco, who was supposed to be this powerhouse. Now, I know they're banged up. They're still leading the division until they lost. So what do you take from this, Frankie? Like, what am I supposed to think? Like, what happened here?
I wouldn't dig too deep into this one. I think Houston just got lucky. I think San Francisco had an off week. Houston hasn't been Houston in a couple years. C.J. Stroud has never impressed me, and T.O. knows this. I've talked very badly about C.J. Stroud. I don't think he's that amazing of a quarterback. I just don't. I have this thing where I'm like, they're going to win a Super Bowl, they're never going to win a Super Bowl. Like, me and T.O. argue about Dak Prescott all the time. I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to win a Super Bowl there. The coach, D'Amico Ryans, is a defensive-minded coach. When you get defensive-minded coaches, they typically don't have the best quarterback play. I think they got lucky. I really do. I think they got lucky this past week playing San Francisco. Banged up or not, San Francisco is a team that's going to probably be in the playoffs despite the injuries. So they got lucky. That's my opinion. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think San Francisco's a playoff team. T.O., who is C.J. Stroud?
I think San Francisco's got a playoff roster. C.J. Stroud, he's not a good quarterback. Houston Texans, good football team. Ooh. Especially on the defensive side. You're going to be very shocked this week when they hold Bo Nix to about under 200 yards, and they might even walk out of this game with a victory. And we're going to be looking at it like, man, Houston, this is one of those weird weeks where the NFL just throws tricks at you.
All right. Well, I
think they get to Bo Nix this week. I really do. And if Houston can get any kind of points, I'm thinking if they can muster 26, because this game is not going to be a high-scoring game, I think they walk out of that game with a victory.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right.
Frankie, go ahead.
I have to say this.
Red Rum.
Do you know what pisses me off more than anything on this planet is when I say something or I make a comment about something as far as the NFL or any other sport, and then 2 days or 3 days later I hear all the ESPN or NFL network or whatever news networks making this statement. Last week, for the exception of one game, the Bengals and the Jets, they were all lopsided double-digit blowouts. It was the weirdest week of football. I said those exact words, and then just this morning on Good Morning Football, I heard him say, and last week it was one game that was close, and the rest were just lopsided blowouts. And I'm like, that's all I got to say. It made me mad.
I'm gonna make that into a clip just because I believe in it.
What do you think of Stroud?
I I think he came out his rookie year and impressed, and then he's fallen off since then. And I don't. I mean, clearly the kid can play, but what I saw in the Seattle game, which is the most that I've you know honed in and actually watched him, was if you put pressure on him, he's not an accurate passer. And I think we pressured him like 22 times in that game, and like that's just, I mean, that's disruptive. And he was able to throw a couple touchdown passes, but they were not great throws. They were great catches. So I don't know. I don't understand how you could come out and just dominate the league your rookie year and then fall by the wayside. Especially when you're coming in at like the number of pick that he was. Like you're on a bad team at that point. Like, you're not Russell Wilson getting drafted in the third round and coming to a team with the Legion of Boom on it.
So we're not proud of Stroud.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like the kid. Uh, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, but time will tell if he's ever going to do anything there. And I do think that the team has got a lot of good players on it. So
Should pick a different brand helmet.
And Denver gets after the quarterback.
they do. Some would say they target the quarterback.
Yeah. Old school.
I mean, that's not too far off from Bounty Gate.
Well, yeah, that's what
I mean, Greg Williams was the defensive coordinator. Sean Payton was the head coach. Do we have a conspiracy here?
It's fine. It's fine with me. They play KC twice. Headhunt them.
right. That's right. No, you got to keep them separated. All right. Cleveland, New England. I don't really want to go deep into this one. We all knew that New England was going to roll Cleveland. I didn't know that they were going to roll them to the tune of 32 on that defense. But Drake May, dude, I mean, you got to be a little bit concerned, Buffalo.
Nope.
He's like, yep, nope. I love it.
Nope.
One guy living in La Vida Loca, that would be the guy that's not at all concerned. And then there's a guy that's living in reality, which is P.O.
They already beat us once.
All right. I don't mean to rib you guys. You've got a really great team, but I have to take the shots where I can. The Giants and the Eagles. Well, we already know what happened to Scadaboo. You really need that team at full force. They're now missing a dominant wide receiver and a dominant running back on the same team that doesn't have a lot of dominating players on it. So when you have Malik Neighbors out and Scadaboo, your offense is going to struggle. It's probably good that Jackson Dart is starting right now because he needs the experience with a lesser team to fucking understand what it's going to be like when they're at full strength. And another high draft pick or a couple high draft picks next season, which is looking like is going to be their future, will really help that team move forward. And I don't hate that team. I got friends that really, really follow and love that team. And it's been a rough road. Not quite as rough as the Jets, but, still tough. Yeah, go. If you have a comment on that game, go ahead.
Scadaboo-boo has a boo-boo.
Well, listen, next man up. Tyrone Tracy did it last year for you Giants fans. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. Very talented, can catch the ball. I'd even argue he's probably better than Scadaboo. Scadaboo just brought heart and it was noticeable and brought the fans into every single game.
It felt like the second coming of Christian McCaffrey, honestly.
Yep.
I would say Michael Allstott.
Allstott.
All right.
Allstott. Mike Allstott.
He was like a fullback.
He was.
Yeah.
He doesn't remind me of anyone. He reminded me of a guy who wasn't going to be in the league that long.
Reminds me of Christian Okoye. They're bulldozers, dude.
Yeah. Okoye was big, though. He was 6 foot. Scadaboo's like 5'4", isn't he?
No, I'm talking Allstott.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah.
Allstott's a big dude, too. Mm-hmm. That's why I brought the Okoye thing.
Christian Okoye, he used to run up mountains for
Yeah, he
during
probably
his training.
mountains. Wait, did he die? No, that was Derek Thomas. All right, so sad, so sad. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. We all had Tampa Bay. New Orleans is a dumpster fire.
And Rattler has officially been put back in his snake pit. He's been benched.
Isn't he hurt?
Yeah, he's benched.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's hurt, but he's hurt a lot of people. Stuffing.
Throwing hospital balls out there.
And they drafted a quarterback. So what the fuck are you doing starting Spencer Rattler when you're 0 and whatever, or 1 and whatever? Like, this is the time, okay? You know Spencer Rattler's not going to win you anything. Throw in your rookie quarterback. I mean, he's had 6-7 weeks to get up to speed with your offense. Now's the time. See if you drafted a guy there. And, well, I don't know yet.
What about? What I don't understand is you got Taysom Hill.
Huh.
Why have they never utilized him as a quarterback? Isn't that his main position?
He's 32.
I don't care how old he is. Answer me that question. Why has he never been utilized fully as a quarterback?
He's my favorite player on that team, and he's electric, but he's not a good passer.
Not a good passer at all.
He's all mobile. Dude, you want to talk about a quarterback that is, I mean, God, who do I compare him to? Like Tim Tebow, maybe? Like,
Maybe, yeah.
doesn't have a great arm, but has like everything else that you'd ever want. And I mean, to me, when I see Taysom Hill in the game, I'm nervous because I'm like, they're trying to score on you. No matter where they are on the field, when he comes in the game, they're trying to put it on you. And a lot of times he does. But you can't do that every time because you know he's not going to throw it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of limits what you can do. And if they do that every time, it's going to get figured out really quick. So his best, and I'm just answering your question the best I can, his best use is going to be sparse, where you don't know what's going to happen. It could be a direct snap. It could be a throw, but it's most likely he's going to bulldoze somebody, and he's going to win. He's going to win his matchup. That's if you go ahead, Tio. If you have anything to say about it, no,
He's not a good passer. He's a gadget player. He's 31 years old with 2 bum legs, and that's what you got right now. Their whole roster is like that, though. Their starting running back. He probably won't be the starting running back for a few more weeks, Kamara, because they're going to see what they got with their other guys, because the roster is just not good.
Olave might get traded.
Yeah, he could. When there's rumors that Buffalo was looking at him, we'll see.
Well, and with the Jets winning, that puts New Orleans in prime position for the first draft pick. But they're a top 5 pick regardless, and you're going to get somebody great. But here's the thing: if you could trade Olave and get, like, I don't know, a 3rd round pick for him, that's only gonna help. And that team, they're only gonna be able to rebuild through the draft. There's no free agent that's gonna come in there and save the day.
Yeah.
A couple years away. All right, let's go to Dallas, Denver. I'm dumb, dude. I picked Dallas because their offense is number 1. Their defense is number 32. However, so I don't know how you can do that, how that's possible to be great on one side of the ball and then absolutely. And to me, it's up and down the roster, you guys. It's not a defensive talent thing. It's a coaching thing. When players are that wide open, it's not the players. It's the players not knowing what they're doing, and that's a coaching thing to me. You have NFL caliber players on that defense, and they're just lost. They don't know where they're supposed to be, and it's almost embarrassing to watch. Denver put it on them. Go ahead with your thoughts, Tio.
I think Dallas is a home team. They play their best football when they're in their own building, and when they have to go anywhere else, you're not sure what you're going to get.
See, that's weird because they used to suck at home last season. That was the worst time ever was playing at home.
Yeah, this year the numbers back them playing at home. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. They have a great roster. I like Dak. They make Pickens look sweet.
Pickens did have some pretty
It's looking pretty sweet.
amazing catches the other day.
Yep.
But again, like their offense dazzles me. I'm not scared of them because their defense is so bad.
If their defense could just be average, they would go far.
Yeah, like top 15, they'd be great.
And they could end up there. We don't know. Because they have been playing a little better.
Well, I'm looking at what's out there, and I don't know that there's a.
Wow, they already traded the best defensive player in the league.
Exactly.
What are we doing?
They're going to have to reap the rewards of that in years to come because it ain't this year. All right, Tennessee at Indianapolis.
I mean,
Colts have only lost to the Rams,
Amazing.
and they only lost to the Rams because their idiot guy dropped the ball before he crossed the goal.
Yeah.
They could be 8-0, dude. Are they the real deal? Or are they pretenders? Go ahead, Tio.
Wow. They're real.
They're real. I think so too. It's hard to say. I know the hesitation there was Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yep.
You're like, if that's Peyton Manning in his prime, they're fucking going to the Super Bowl.
I have no faith in him.
Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL right now. Frankie, yes or no?
for now until he gets hurt. And every time he scores a touchdown, why does he do that skip thing that looks like he pulled a ligament? They had to tell him to stop that.
I love it.
I think that's the most annoying thing. Score 80 touchdowns, I don't care, but don't do this skipperoo and hold the back of your leg and make people think you're hurt. That's not fair.
The gimp.
You know what? I'm gonna make a collage at the end of this season of just trivial, just ridiculous takes from Frankie about people's hair. And their
The weirdest things bother Frankie. The weirdest things bother Frankie.
But don't you think it'd make an interesting reel, like a highlight reel of?
Yeah, definitely.
He likes hamburgers. What an idiot! Or Aaron
He
Rodgers.
needs to shave his hair.
Aaron Rodgers has a gray streak in his hair. What an idiot!
He always says green 18. Why? Why can't it be 18? Why can't it be 19? Why does it got to be 18?
DK Metcalf is the head case. Okay, he actually is a head case. But we'll get there. Yeah, this game was fucked. We knew Tennessee didn't have a chance. They did score 14, but they got 38 ridden on them. So, yeah, it was not an interesting game. Then you had Green Bay, Pittsburgh. You know, I'm an idiot again. I believed in Mike Tomlin at home with Aaron Rodgers and the most expensive defense in the NFL that can't stop anyone. And it was not a good game for. Well, let's go back to DK Metcalf being a head case. First of all, I don't know what it is that you have to say to him, but it can't be much because anybody that says anything to him ever, he's going to grab their face mask. He's going to punch you or hit you to the tune of 15 yards, even when it's 3rd and 3 and you're down 1 score. And he makes a 3rd and 18 and basically kills your drive. I know for a fact if Aaron Rodgers gets that mad about being tackled over a 67-yard touchdown, that he's certainly not going to be nice when you hit the sideline after a fucking 3rd and 3 turned into a 3rd and 18. Frankie, go ahead.
Aside from the horrific, ugly uniforms that the Steelers wore, Aaron Rodgers claims it wasn't a revenge game, but it was. He wanted to beat the Packers. I still got it. I'm still a stud, and I do mushrooms, and I'm fucking awesome. Jordan Love pretty much showed him, the longer you let me sit behind you for those couple years, the better I got, and I'm better than you, and I beat you in your home stadium. So I didn't pick Pittsburgh. I actually took Green Bay, and I think Tio thought I was nuts for that. But I picked Green Bay because Micah Parsons. Parsons is a fierce son of a gun. He's running around in that defensive backfield. Phew! I don't want him chasing me down and Aaron Rodgers doesn't move very good. So I just think that that whole game was set up for Jordan Love to win. And if we want to talk about predictability and theatrics and narrative of the NFL and becoming sports entertainment, that was proof right there that the Packers were going to win that game, even if they didn't suit up and show up that night. They would have won.
Yeah, Tio.
It was the worst officiating game I've ever watched in my life. Worst officiating game I've ever seen. Key plays, offensive linemen going in motion. They don't call it. Huge third downs. Aaron Rodgers gets screwed. I don't know. I don't even know what to make of the game, to be quite honest. I can't give a fair assessment when the refereeing is just so terrible.
So we're saying it was in favor of Green Bay, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of missed calls in favor of Green Bay. Rodgers put on a clinic in the first half. I don't know if ayahuasca ran off in the second half, and he just wasn't seeing things as clear as he was, but it was a tale of two halves in that game again.
Yeah.
Plus, an ugly uniform.
Oh, that's part of the clip.
Yep, that'll do it for Frankie. He knew right away when they
He's
walked
like-
out in those uniforms they were not going to be winners.
You walk out looking like you're in prison garb.
Yeah, at least match.
You're shit pants.
I don't know what to think of Aaron Rodgers anymore. I used to hate him. I started liking him. I don't think he's going to win again ever. I just don't. And Pittsburgh's defense is not playing up to par right now. And they have a lot invested in there, and I don't know what the problem is. Watt looks like he's not even there. I'm expecting them to turn it around, but we'll see what happens. It's not a defensive league anymore. That's what I keep to. When Frankie J brings up defense, I hate it because this is an offensive league. All they want you to do is score points. I could give a crap who's on defense.
That's interesting. I think
The game's going to come down to, in the big games, who has the ball last.
I think we will potentially argue about this at some point.
Sweet.
Fight!
I don't hate your take, but I mean, I literally watched the Legion of Boom take apart the greatest offense in the history of the game.
That was a different time.
It was, but
And that was one game. You're talking about one big game. That could happen in a big game like that. When Vegas says the point spread is 56 and the game ends up being 30 points, and your defense does that can for sure happen. Do I think it doesn't matter? No. Regular season, I could give a crap about my defense.
well, your front office still's the same.
They do. They're Swiss cheese. They put all of it in. They put all of it into the second best quarterback in the league.
All right, so see, we might argue that too. All right, okay. Then you got Washington at Kansas City. Did anybody think that Washington was going to win this game?
No.
No.
All
Not
right.
with Mariota.
Washington knew they were going to lose this game when Marcus Mariota was there. So,
He had good eye paint, though. I'll give him that.
I mean, he didn't.
Funny listening to people say how the game's going to be good because Mariota has good legs. Good legs. He's the quarterback. I need the guy to throw the ball first,
Right.
okay?
Exactly.
Throw the ball first. I don't have Tyrod Taylor out there. I don't care. I want the guy to be able to throw the ball.
And back to defense, the Chiefs seem to have figured out a couple things, and Washington is just, to me, like middle of the road on defense. They're
Did
not.
they make it so far last year? Was it because that guy bought the stadium and he was promised things? Because look at them right now.
I mean, it's just like when you drop a head coach or something in the middle of the season, you get that little resurgence of the team and the excitement of like something new. When Schneider gave up Washington, that was a long time coming.
Okay, so you think it has a lot to do with what
I
happened there?
predicted they would be second in the division after everybody's like they're bottom dwellers all day long. I didn't know that Jaden Daniels was going to be the reason for that, but they were in the NFC Championship game. God damn it! They're not going to be this year. Again, Jaden Daniels he lights out for the majority of last season, and now where is he? He's hurt. Hard to say that he's having like fallback like CJ Stroud type of thing, but it's hard to move forward when you're not on the field either.
Well,
When I watch those games, you know what I notice? Christian McCaffrey's brother, Luke, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He makes big plays every game, and they continuously just give him the ball 2 times a game. And you keep force feeding Deebo Samuel, who's old, his heel's about to fall off, and you're not giving these other guys a chance. That's what I see.
Yeah, San Francisco ran him into the ground. He was garbage before he left San Francisco. I mean, they just ran him ragged. Remember, he was their receiver and running back for
Yep.
for like 3 years prior to McCaffrey. So they used up, I mean, they're like, yeah, we got everything we've got out of you. Now we're going to get more in a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, Kansas City's starting to get scary. And I'm going to leave week 8 at that because we're going to talk about that scariness for week 9. All right.
and Jaden Daniels wears a winter hat when it's 70 degrees outside. Get a grip, dude. Okay.
Different team when he's in the game.
I love
Get a grip.
Frankie, you're our style editor. You
I mean, come on.
charge of what everybody's wearing at all times.
I mean, I'm all about swag. Why do they wear 2 mouth guards? Why do they have 2 baby pacifier mouth guards hanging out of their helmet? Why? For what? Why? Why do they do that? It should be outlawed. Banned.
I'm going to give you your own segment where you're like, you know what really makes me mad? You can be like our Dane.
Yeah.
You know what overcooks my eggs?
You can walk around and say, you know what really makes me mad?
He's got his Robin Yount hat on.
Why is it blurry?
Lighting. No, there's something with Apple going on right now. You have to do an update.
Whatever, Apple.
I love Apple.
Blurring out with my excellence. But anyway, let's talk about week 9 so we can get the fuck out of here.
Oh. Okay.
This is crazy. All right. I'm looking at what happened last week. And I'm all like, I think I got it figured out. But then I see that Thursday Night Football is Baltimore at Miami. I can't possibly call this game. So I didn't. I want to let the new guy have the first crack. Tell me what I should pick here there, T.O.
You should pick Baltimore.
I should pick Baltimore.
And you should pick Baltimore because we all know Dolphins are not good. We all know Tua turned the ball over. It's going to happen this week. Last week, every once in a while, the guy puts together a good game. Congratulations. That was last week. We're on to this week. Baltimore. How can I say Baltimore's going to lose after what I said earlier on how Baltimore's going to be picking up, and they will be. Not going to say they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be in the mix.
That's true. You would be a fucking hypocrite if you didn't pick Baltimore.
That's right.
Frankie, is he wrong? Is he right? Is he just talking out of his ass?
Okay.
Do it.
I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. Hard Rock Stadium, coming off a huge win. They all went out, did their cocaine and party, got their stuff together. Tyreek Hill out for the year. Still partying with them, though. I'm going to take Miami at home, just because. They deserve it.
All right. So let's all back up for a second and not pretend that this game has a single bit of importance. Both teams at 2-5 and 2-6, respectively. This is just a shitty game that they're making us watch on Thursday. It really is. There's no way around that. And guys, it was shitty when they made the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday games.
What's the flex? Where's the flex roll? Where's the flex roll?
Thursday's games have been good this year.
They have, and I'm not saying just because it's 2 bad teams that we can't get a good game. It's just nobody cares.
This is early in the season. There's one bad team
Gives
here.
a shit. I'm gonna take Baltimore, and I'm not happy about it. guys. Like, here's the deal. I'm like, Miami can score, and then they put up 6 points. And then I'm like, Miami sucks, and then they put up 40 points. And I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. So logic tells me that with Lamar Jackson playing even at 75% should bring the team rallied enough to get a win against Miami. So we'll leave it at that.
Listen to this. Ready? I'm telling you, the Ravens are going to string together a couple wins, and they're going to turn this record around. And it starts this week: Ravens Dolphins. Next week, Ravens Vikings. Week after, Ravens Browns. Ravens Jets. It looks to me,
There's one thing that you're missing here, T.O.,
huh?
and that's next week. It's gonna be it's gonna be the Baltimore versus Russell Wilson led Vikings.
It's possible.
I'm here for it.
You heard it here first.
I'm here for it. And I think they lose that game. But anyway, we'll see.
All right.
We shall see. Chicago at Cincinnati. Another game where I'm like, I'm not going to go first. Frankie, tell me why Chicago is going to win this game.
They're not.
And I'm putting you in that place because I know that you've already got touching the little dangly thing in the back of your throat is Joe Flacco's dick. So go ahead.
I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Chicago is Chicago. The wind blows different ways each week for that team. Yeah, Ben Johnson's amazing, but they're going to lose 2 games in a row, and I see Joe Flacco bouncing back from that crappy loss to the Jets. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Tio, Flacco was amazing in his first game at Cincinnati. And then he shit his geriatric pants in the second game. This is the third time out against a Bears team that we don't have any consistency from. What do you see in this game, please?
Well, game 1, he walks in there healthy. Game 2, he gets hit. He's old. Things don't move. That second week, he looks like trash. Now, he should be okay again. Everything should be okay with the body. I'm kind of liking Cincinnati myself, even though I really didn't think I was going to pick them. But I'm going to take Cincinnati. And I do like Roma Dunze, and I do like the quarterback play over there in Chicago.
You two June bugs.
But I'm going Cincy.
I'm going to go against you just because
Okay.
I don't know fuck shit about either one of these teams right now. So yeah, I mean, might as well try and get a game up on you guys. And I think this is it right here. And then I go back to the last game and I'm like, I picked that wrong, but whatever. We'll see. The game's got to be played. Minnesota at Detroit. I'll go first here. I'll be bold and say that Detroit's not going to have any issues beating Minnesota Vikings. Go ahead, Frankie J.
Man, I'm taking Detroit,
No.
but trap game.
Trap game.
Orange
Who's the trap?
caution, trap game.
Who's
Orange
the
caution.
trap? What
Detroit.
what quarterback is going to come out and make this competitive?
You never know. J.J. McCarthy comes out and throws 5 touchdowns. You don't know. Who knows? I'm picking Detroit, but I'm also saying that they could lose this game.
All right.
Frank, T.O., I obviously want your pick, but just please shit all over what Frankie just said.
Give me the third in points per game Detroit Lions against this crappy ass Minnesota. No one knows who playing quarterback team.
I mean, Frankie, he must have some indication of like defensive prowess of
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
this has Jamar Gibbs written all over it. This game.
I mean, trap game. That's fucking hilarious.
It's sad that
Hilarious that you always
Jefferson.
make your trap game about Detroit.
I know it's sad that Jefferson's trapped on a shitty team.
I mean,
And they just made a historical deal. I mean, no one's going to really try and take that off their hands. So
Yep.
even if they request a trade, there might be one team in the world that can afford him, and I don't know who that team would be. But I'm sure every team would be like, "Is there a way?" And then they're like, "No, there's no way. We'd have to we'd have to get rid of everybody." But all right, we're all in Detroit. That's boring, but it is what it is. It's gonna happen. Detroit's gonna. There's no trap. There's no trap. I'm sorry. Carolina at Green Bay. This game, unfortunately, has to be played. Um, I'm not. I'm not trying to like. It's just. It doesn't jump out at me as something that's interesting on the schedule. I am still trying to figure out Bryce Young, so I will be curious to see how he goes up against Micah Parsons. I will be watching that. But I also am a guy that's not 100% sold on Jordan Love. And I know that Frankie is, so I'm going to let him tell me about this game. Go ahead. Carolina, Green Bay. What do you got, Frankie?
Carolina going into Green Bay, Lambeau Field. Jordan Love coming off a big win over his mentor, if you want to call him that. They continue that streak and they win at home. I take Green Bay very easily here. Carolina's going to get smoked.
Gio.
Green Bay, easy. Green Bay, easy. I think Carolina finishes just under 500 this year.
Easy cheesy.
If there's one team I want to see do well, it's Carolina. I don't know why. I don't know what my fascination is with Bryce Young. Um, but
They did really well in trying to help that guy out. I mean, McMillan's very good. Leggett is very good. They drafted last year. They have a couple good pieces there. Hopefully, I would like to see Bryce Young do well myself.
yeah, and I think there was so much of the 2000s, the early 2000s, where Carolina was directly Seattle's rival. I mean, they played every year, and it seemed like we've met them in the playoffs every year, and they were just a hard team. But I never developed a hatred of them. I just didn't like Cam Newton. And then I got over my shit with Cam Newton when he fumbled the ball in the Super Bowl and didn't even try to pick it up again.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, you are nothing. You're a gutless guy that just had a bunch of talent.
they had good defense back then too. Carolina.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Green Bay's got this, no problem at home. TL, I'm gonna let you go first on Denver at Houston because you were prognosticating earlier about Bo Nix and company and the defense specifically. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is my upset game. I kind of feel like Houston's going to upset Denver here. Why? I'm not sure. I just think it's going to be a defensive game. I think Bo Nix has been on fire, and I think sometimes the fire gets put out when we least expect it, and I think this is the week.
Yeah, before I let Frankie go, this is something that I commonly talk about, and I think like not that either of these teams are on long win streaks, but I mean Denver's on what, 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pressure is starting to mount there, and I think with a young team like that, it's good for them to get a loss every once in a while to recenter and ground everything. Um, I mean, every team comes in, and I'll use Buffalo as an example. Buffalo, a lot of fans were like, "Yeah, we could go 17 and we could do it. We have a team. We have that team that could do that." And then let's say you get to 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, pressure just starts to become like, "Man, we can't lose." And then every little thing that happens is just like pressure, 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 and then you lose that 10th game, and you come back and you realize, oh, we could still be 16-1, which has always been good enough to host the title game if it comes that way. So I don't put like if Denver does lose to Houston here, fine. It's not a signal of anything. I'm still gonna pick Denver because I don't know, but because I watched what we did to Houston, and this I can't get that out of my mind, despite what happened in San Francisco. Go ahead, Frankie. Jay.
I'm taking Denver. Houston's not going to win this one. Sean Payton is one of those old school coaches who says put duct tape on it, shut up, get out there and play. We're not going to lose. They're not going to lose. They'll go 6 in a row.
Now, you're kind of. Is he a good coach, or is he just you're scared of him if you lose, so you just don't lose?
He's a great coach.
All right.
Great coach.
Great coach.
I think he kind of looks like the Michael Myers mask myself.
I think he's got his when New Orleans was firing on all cylinders. I think he's got the same kind of roster right now. When they had Ingram and they had Kamara, I feel like you got that right now at Dobbins and Harvey, and Bo Nix is playing well, and they got a number one receiver who is about as steady as you can get in the wide receiver position with Courtland Sutton.
Well, imagine if they still had Jerry Jeudy too. Jeez.
Yeah.
That would be like an embarrassment of riches for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm certainly I got my eyes on Denver because I predicted them to take the division this year, and well, so far so good. But I mean, a loss here would be bad, but it's not the end of the world. I do like that we're not all in agreement here, though, because that will make me more attuned to this game. Atlanta, New England. You guys know what's coming.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Penix is playing in this game, and I don't even care. I know what's coming. New England's going to house Atlanta by at least 15. It's my guess. Go ahead, Frankie.
New England's going to win this game just because it's going to piss off Bills fans and they're in our division. It's not going to be a whole bunch of points, though, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But New England wins it. They'll find a way to win it by 3 or even by 6.
Go ahead, Tio.
The lower the score, the higher the chance of Atlanta to win this game.
I agree.
In that case, jeez. Oh man, I'll take Atlanta to go 4-4 here in some kind of weird fluky NFL way.
I'm going to make fun of you a lot next week.
All right. Michael Penix is back. I think they're a different team. You know, I really don't want to pick them, but
I agree.
I'm going to because I'm looking at the standings here and what I think is going to happen. I think I'm going to have to take.
I don't know Penix's status.
I believe he's starting this week.
But here's the deal. All right. Like, you're just being irresponsible with your picks.
I hear you.
And I will definitely call you. But if Atlanta wins, you tell me to suck my own dick.
Atlanta's one of those teams that if they did win, you wouldn't be that surprised. Because in 1 minute they can blow you out of the water, and in the next minute they can totally tank.
No, but we're also looking at two teams with 5-game win streaks that could come to an end.
Yep.
So, wow. Good job, NFL, with your scheduling. Dang. I almost feel bad talking about this next game just because, let me throw this at you guys. I watched the Portland Trailblazers versus the Lakers the other night. Damian Lillard out for the season. LeBron James missing action due to sciatica because he's fucking old and brittle as Frankie's wiener.
And his house is being raided.
Then you got what's his face? Doncic also sitting. You got hundreds of millions of dollars of injured players and people showing up to watch the game going, why did I do this? That's San Francisco versus the Giants right now. Like, this is not a game that I will be paying any attention to. because of injuries, really. There's a lot on the line for San Francisco, really. Not so much the Giants, but Dable's still fighting for a job. And he just watched San Francisco lose to Houston. So he's thinking, man, the front office knows that San Francisco's beatable. They're going to expect me to win this game. And my job is once again in question. Um, Frankie, take your time here. What do you got?
San Francisco. It's the Giants. No Scatabo. I think the fans are still going to be upset. I think Jackson Dart's going to be a little off. It's going to be a confusing week for all Giants fans. San Francisco is going to go in there and win.
Theo, is
That's
that
all I
true?
really got to say about that.
Yeah, I think San Francisco wins this game. Even though they're decimated on the defensive side of the ball right now, I just think you're going to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey come up on your little scoreboard there on your ticker on your TV this week.
All right. And I'm going to pretend that he's 5 years ago.
Okay, I wanted to too, but
But
he has the most carries in the league right now.
I mean, that's what San Francisco does. They will run you literally, they'll run your body into the ground. And like, why players don't realize that when they're signing these contracts? They're like, I mean, Devo is the perfect example, dude. They literally have taken years off of his career by what they did to him early on. And he was a shell of what he was. And I feel like McCaffrey once was, I mean, the most dangerous weapon in maybe all of sports. And now he's kind of like, yeah, he plays for San Francisco. That's it.
If I pay you, I own you. I'm using you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's their right to do so, right? And I'm sure he's like, I want to touch the ball as much as possible. So these type of guys aren't like, there are guys that are like, dude, you can't give me the ball 30 times a game. Just don't do it because I'm not here for that. Like Debo literally was like, you got to stop doing this, dude. Man, I'm stalling, you guys. I'm stalling. I'm gonna go New York. I'm gonna go New York Giants.
All right.
And I'm doing that for my friend Jazz. God dang, something good's got to happen to this team, right? And I really hate picking San Francisco, so it's easy for me to do this. I'm not confident, but whatever. They lost to Houston, they could lose to New York. This is interesting, guys. This is interesting. We just shit all over Pittsburgh. Like, we took turns shitting down their throats, basically. They got Indianapolis coming to town. Again, another home game, another opportunity to take down what looks like a superior team. Tio, what do you see happening in this game? Please, sir.
I see Pittsburgh winning this game.
I thought you might say that. What's the key? What's the key here?
Making Daniel Jones look like we all think he is.
So you're saying the defense is going to actually show up and earn their Skrilla in this
Yes.
game? I like it. It's a bold choice that I'm not sure I can make it this time, but we'll see when it gets to my turn. If Frankie can convince me, go ahead, bud.
They're going to be back to their normal uniforms, and they're not going to lose two in a row, so they'll win this game. Indianapolis's win streak comes to an end.
I think we get a defensive touchdown here for Pitt.
Yep. TJ Watt.
I think, man, this is tough, you guys. I really thought I might be the only one to say Pittsburgh, and I was going to do that if that was the case. But now that you're both saying Pittsburgh, I feel like this is an easy opportunity to get back one on you guys.
Mhm.
Jonathan Taylor is going to be the difference in this game, one way or the other. If Pittsburgh can't stop him, they don't. They shouldn't even show up. And since nobody else has been able to stop him, I don't think Daniel Jones is a problem at all. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to
Hmm.
win this game.
Pittsburgh leads this series 27 wins to 8 losses.
Yeah, definitely 27. 27.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely winning this matchup 27 to 8. Yeah, 8. Eight's a bad number.
27 and 8 all time against Indy.
27.
Pittsburgh is
How many of those were Tomlin games?
most. I mean, they've won a lot of the recent ones here. I think. Let's see.
I mean, everyone's won a lot of the recent games against the Colts. That's nothing. This is a different Colts team.
True. It is.
We'll see. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. This did not go the way I thought it was. First, I thought I was going to take Pittsburgh, and then you mugs both did, and I thought, you know what? I was banking on Pittsburgh being able to do something that nobody else has done. Yeah, we're getting close. All right. Chargers, Titans. What do we got? To
Chargers. I mean, Titans 1-7, about to go 1-8. Nothing going in there in Tennessee, and the Chargers are playing well.
Frankie.
Chargers, they had sweet uniforms this past week. I like them. So I picked the Chargers over the Titans, and the Titans blow. Let's face it.
Yeah, Cam Ward not looking to be a reward.
Number one bust.
I'm not going to call him a bust. He's still got some play to him, but they're really bad. I mean, Tyler Lockett left because he was like, this sucks.
Do you
He
blame him?
went to a team that sucks probably just as bad.
Worse.
New Orleans at the Rams. This is not competitive. I'm going to take the Rams. I know that you guys are all surprised by that because New Orleans has Taysom Hill.
I knew that was coming.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Well, obviously, I'm taking the Rams. I'm not stupid.
Debatable. T.O.?
Puka Nakua back. Give me the Rams.
Give me the
All right.
Rams.
Yeah, that one's kind of a no-brainer. That one should not even be televised. All right, we got Jacksonville hell at the Raiders. The hair meets the oldest coach in NFL history. Frankie,
I'm going locks of love on this one.
every time you say that Locks of Love is going to win, they lose.
Ooh.
Just so you know. Every time you've said that, they've lost.
Well, this time they're going to win because they're going to Vegas, and Vegas is just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them.
Want to bet?
What do you want to bet?
Bet you Aston Genty rolls over him.
You were talking about Vegas, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Ha!
Yeah, see, no, I'm taking Jacksonville's going to win this one. If they don't, then I'll never, ever stop the jokes about his hair unless he cuts it.
Yeah, this is I mean, T.O., you realize now the Raiders are complete that they have Tyler Lockett on their team. They're complete now. Brock Bowers, who? Doesn't matter. Max Crosby, who? Doesn't matter. They've got Jamal Adams, Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and now the final piece to make them the Seattle retirement home, Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
What do you got?
Raiders bringing in Aston Genty against Jacksonville, who league leading, I think, 82 yards a game only they're letting up on the ground. So everything is showing you that Jacksonville's going to win this game, and I'm going to take the Raiders, and I'm going to take everything against that. I'm going to say Genty has over 100. The Raiders somehow win, and Locks of Love is due for a head shave.
You son of a bitch.
What?
I thought you guys were going to both be on Jacksonville, and now here I am agreeing with a guy I don't ever want to agree with.
Yep.
It's Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah, probably.
You're so fucking money and you don't even know it, Mikey. You're so fucking money, baby. Don't you? Yeah. All right.
Don't take me to Vegas.
Yeah, that joke needed to stop before it becomes not funny.
Yeah.
Debatable.
I never watched that movie, by the way.
Debatable whether it was ever funny. But I'll have the pancakes in the Age of Enlightenment, please. All right, Kansas City Buffalo. This is the one that I want to talk about, and I realize we're coming up on your guys' show, so I want to tell you guys. All right, you might just be saying this as a regular season game. Doesn't matter. This is the marbles, you guys. First of all, I feel like your front office has built your team roster specifically to win this game, these games against Kansas City, because that's been what has been the challenge moving forward. Now, we all know playoffs are a different animal. We're not there. This game has huge implications, guys. I mean, it's not the end of the world for either team if they lose, but it's going to be, everyone's going to be talking about whoever wins this game as the front runner, and it has to be that way. All right? So the other team's going to get left in the dust by media, by everybody else. It's in Buffalo, which statistically hasn't really mattered. I'm going to let T.O. go first because he's the new guy. And do you understand the magnitude of this game? And tell me what you think is going to happen.
Well, historically, it looks like the Bills win this one because it's a regular season game. I think history repeats itself again. And the Bills lead the series 30. I think 30 wins to 26 losses. Since 2020, all the games have totaled only 1 point difference in all those games since 2020 when these two teams line up. So it's going to be a close one. We know that. I think Buffalo wins this game 27-24.
Frankie, you sound like you thought he was going to pick Kansas City.
No. I didn't think he was going to pick Kansas City because he likes to stick with his facts, if you want to call them that. The Bills will win this game, and I think we're going to win it pretty big because we are pretty good against them in the regular season. It's going to be a home game. We're coming off a huge win against Carolina, big deal. I have this weird gut feeling that Patty Mahomes gets hurt during this game. And I don't want to see people get hurt, but I have this feeling that he might.
We're doing that now, huh?
Yeah, maybe. I like the Bills.
Predicting our rivals'
Injuries. ACL.
All right, you dickweeds. You are forcing me to just tell you that Kansas City's going to slaughter you in this game.
Okay.
That's what you're forcing me to do.
I want that to happen.
All right. Do I believe that it's going to happen? No, I don't. I don't like Kansas City. I don't like them at all, guys. I don't like them.
That's really mean.
I wish they would. No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that I wish their jet would crash and they would all die. I
wish everybody would just realize how good of a quarterback that guy is and stop the negative talk.
I wish that everybody would stop talking shit about Patrick Mahomes and how terrible he is. Just wish that. And I wish the refs would give him a break sometimes, honestly. I really wish that. Sarcasm's a fun, guys. Sarcasm is a fun.
They're going to give him a break this week. When
Kansas City 48. Kansas City 48. Buffalo 40.
Ooh. Wow, that high. Nice.
Yep. All right. Let's finish up strong here. Seattle at Washington. Seattle's 10-1 under Mike McDonald on the road. This is Sunday Night Football. I mean, Seahawks are, for whatever reason, very successful in primetime games. They have to win this game, or everything that everybody said nice about them is off the table. We're back to being nothing. So I'm going to pick Seattle. I'm not going to give a score prediction. 1 point's enough for me. I don't care. Go ahead, T.O.
Give me Seattle.
Franklin.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick Seattle.
Oh, well, I already typed Washington. Seattle.
Hey,
Hey, well, that was easy. All right. Arizona, Dallas. Guys, Mario's back, and he's going to be running crazy against this Dallas defense. I just want to tell you that. I want you to remember that Arizona has a decent defense. Dallas does not. Dallas has a great offense, but their defense is just bad. T.O., go first.
Arizona has a way of making bad defenses look good. Give me the Dallas Cowboys in this one.
The Dallas Cowboys. What you got, Frankie J?
I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. They're at home. They have hot cheerleaders, and it's a big circus act at home games at Dallas. And Arizona, Kyler Murray, he's just a bobblehead. He'll end up hurting himself. He doesn't even have to get hit. He'll hurt himself. So I take the Cowboys at home.
Goddamn motherfuckers.
They do have a porous run defense.
You see?
Dallas does have a porous run defense, but it's hard to run the ball when you're going to be losing the game 14-0 right off the bat.
Why right off the bat? Are they going to make a defensive touchdown? No.
We got to stop them once.
No. You guys are putting me in the most awkward positions.
I mean, that could sound really bad.
I mean, that's where I'm going, Frankie. You don't remember when you were in jail and all the shit they did to you? That's the position. That's the positions you guys are putting me in.
Stretched.
And quite frankly, I like it.
Luck a lot.
So you're taking the Zona?
I like it. I'm going Arizona.
Phew.
I told you out front, Mario's going to run a rough shot through this Dallas Cowboy defense. Whatever, I don't know what that means necessarily. We have bye week for Cleveland. The Jets, coming off that smoking hot win, finally get a rest.
Need a break.
They don't deserve it. Philly and Tampa are the other teams out for this bye week. But I'm here for this. Is a good lineup of games. How you guys feeling about your decisions?
I feel great. I feel like taking a shower and shaving my head.
More prison talk. Okay, Tio, how do you feel?
I feel good. I'm confident about my picks.
Do you
Confident
feel
that the
welcome
NFL
here?
Oh, I feel very welcome here.
Because you're not yet.
That's fine. You asked me how I felt. Feelings, man.
All right. You're going to be on the hot seat for the next 8 weeks at least.
Awesome.
But seriously, pleasure talking to you guys. Tune into, I'm not even going to bother saying it because your show's already going to be in progress by the time this goes up. So, guys, just have a good show, and I really appreciate you joining, and it's nice to not hear that everything sucks about everything. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate Frankie J a little bit less every week, but he's still here. So
You're getting to know him.
Yeah, that's what makes me appreciate it.
That's what I mean.
All right, guys.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
I'll see you when I see you. Good luck.
Yep.
All right.
See you next week. Thanks.
This was a Loch 22 production. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.